Are you or a loved one plagued with constant illness? Are you constantly waking up in the morning injured? Or are you just having a terrible sleep schedule? Well, the answer may be simpler than you think. Alcohol! How's it going, guys? My name is Alex Bacon, and welcome back to another episode on Hazy Days. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be covering your first time with alcohol. Alright guys, so on my channel I am constantly preaching about the newfound freedom that you get while you're in college. Now, 80%, roughly, give or take, college students drink while they're in college, and about 50% on top of that binge drink. Now, for your first time with alcohol, you will learn how quickly it takes to get hammered off of your ass. Now, like everything else, when you're trying something new for the first time, you should definitely be doing it with friends who are experienced in it and are willing to take care of you when you get too drunk, because let me tell you, you're gonna get too drunk your first time. Now, if you wanted to go about it the safe way, there's a blood alcohol content level out there with a whole chart where you can check out your weight, check out your age, height, all of that stuff, put it all together and see how many drinks you can have in an hour's time and still be at a safe blood alcohol level without, having to take a not so fun trip in the hospital. Hopefully you're not afraid to make a humongous ass out of yourself when you're drinking for the first time, because odds are you're gonna be drinking with friends and even family members that you know. They're gonna probably get you more drunk than you would like to be. And when this happens, terrible things are going to happen. You're just gonna make awesome, fantastic decisions for them to watch. You will see all over the internet, especially on TFM, of all of these people jumping off really high places, crashing into the ground, or even just standing on what would be a sturdy platform just to find themselves on the ground 10 minutes later. This is why people wake up constantly in the morning. Their body is just aching from head to toe, scratch marks and bruises all over themselves. Along with injury all the time, drinking constantly a few times a week or drinking a lot on those days, it's really gonna lower your immune system. You've been going around and you've noticed that your cold has started to last a few weeks or even a few months. Maybe that sore throat or that scratchy feeling that's giving you a cough just isn't going away. Well, it could definitely be the alcohol that's causing this. And you should definitely think about, maybe lowering the amount that you drink when you go out, or, limiting how many days a week you are doing the drinking. Now, something a lot of people don't think about when they're going out drinking for the first time, or, their first couple times as they're learning to find their tolerance, is that you can actually get into some pretty serious legal trouble. I mentioned earlier the 80% of college students that are drinking in their time in college. Most of them aren't even 21 years old yet, which means when you're taking that drunken, stumbling walk home, you should probably do it in a safe way when you're passing police. Be really smart about this because, well, who really wants to wake up in a drunk tape with a nice, beautiful mugshot sent to your parents who are now at this point just fully embarrassed with you? Not only can you get in trouble with the foot patrol cops that are walking around or the rent-a-police, you can also get into some serious trouble if your dumbass decides to drive home. There is no reason out there to be drinking and driving. You got Ubers, you got taxis, you got college buses that can bus you around, you even got friends with cars. The list goes on and on forever. So don't be stupid. Make the right choice. Either stay where you're drinking that night or make the right choice to find the right form of transportation to get home. And let me tell you, yes, you can get a DUI on those electric scooters. Now, to share with you guys my disregard with alcohol as I tried it my first couple times. Probably the most embarrassing story I have of myself in college. It goes to show an example for you guys why you should maybe take it a little easy as you're beginning. One night I had been out just drinking all night. It got to the point where I was literally drugged home by some friends, or so they told me, because I had no memory of any of it. They put me to bed on my futon in my room. About 2:30 in the morning, I wake up and I start to pee in the corner of my room. Why not, right? The sound of me peeing in the corner of my room, it woke up my roommate. Well, when the roommate came over and tried to get me to stop, I guess I went to pull my pants all the way back up and they only got halfway up. Halfway up, I start to stumble and I hit my head on the corner of the door frame, knocking myself out cold. Now, my roommate, he couldn't get me to wake back up, so of course he called the RA. The RA showed up to the room, and this is where the report begins that I get to read the following morning. So supposedly, the resident assistant walked into the room and found me on the floor, lying face down, with my pants halfway down. Now, the resident assistant was able to wake me up and asked if I wanted to go back to sleep on the futon. To which I proceeded to say yes, and about a minute after that, I just started to shed all my clothing, up to the point where I was just butt-ass naked in front of this random person. I then decided it was a great idea to climb up to my top bunk in my bunk bed. So once I got up to my top bunk in bed, the RA came up. He noticed I was stumbling around a little bit, slurring my words, because, well, I was shit-faced drunk and don't remember anything. So he comes over to me and he asked me how much I had to drink that night, to which I replied, "A fifth," and then proceeded to vomit all over my roommate's bedspread. Now, of course, in the morning I felt really bad about this, but in a sense it's kind of payback for him telling the RAs that I was smoking weed in the room. It wasn't me, like I talked about in my earlier episode. Now, I had to go in front of the student conduct board, several alcohol classes, and pay a $100 fee out of pocket. Now, my night could have ended up a whole lot worse than this. I could have taken a not so fun trip in an ambulance to the hospital where I would have had to pay a lot more out of pocket than that $100. I could have also, had my mugshot taken and sent to my parents. So all in all, it was, a silver lining. I didn't die, I didn't have to pay a whole lot of money, and I lived. Hopefully my experience shines some light on you needing to take it easy when you're finding your tolerance with alcohol. For the love of God, please remember, drink responsibly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode on Hazy Days. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and even leave a comment down below of some of your college stories and experiences. See you next time.